If you're sitting in your room, I want you to look around yourself. Are you sitting on the chair with the laptop on the table and watching this video like a conscious young man? Or are you laid down on your bed in a dirty room, in a room that your mom would look at and tell you to clean it? Your environment shapes your perception of your life, your thoughts, your habits. If your environment is as dirty, is so dirty, then your habits and your thoughts would be equally dirty as well. Because if you look at it, your room is the place that you are sitting in for like 70% of the day. Okay, considering you're like a healthy man, healthy, young man, you're going out cycling, you're working out in the garden, you're going on for runs, you're in the school, or maybe you're in for work. Considering that maybe 50% of your day is spent in your room, 50% of your day is spent in your room, half of your life is spent in your room. If that room in itself is dirty, then your thoughts and your habits would be dirty, the ones that you do in your room. Any habit, any thought that you have, any habit that you do in your room is highly likely to be a dirty or a lazy or a negative habit or a negative thought if your room in itself is dirty. And this is not something that happens with just you, it happens with me too. अगर मेरा सुबह सुबह कमरा बहुत मैला हो, टेबल पे गंद मचा हुआ है, बेड पे गंद मचा हुआ है, and it's a Sunday morning, I really don't want to clean it, I'm very likely, I'm very highly likely, highly possible that I'll just scroll on some reels laid down on my bed. That's very, very possible because my environment is telling me so. मेरा टेबल गंदा है, मेरा बेड गंदा है, तो मेरा जो ख्याल है, जो मेरा हैबिट्स है, जो जो मैं करना चाहूँगा, that will also be a bit towards the negative side. But you know it yourself. If my table was clean, spit clean, if my bed is fully clean, I'm very much more likely to keep my laptop on the table, sit on the chair, start recording some videos, considering it's a Sunday morning, which it is today. And that's exactly how the day started for me. Actually, this is literally like half an hour ago, 1 hour ago of a story. सुबह सुबह उठा, I did the good habits, I did the morning routine that I'm doing every day, ate my breakfast, came into my room. My table was a bit dirty, थोड़ा कुछ notebooks पड़ी हुई थी, इस जगह पे एक book पड़ी हुई थी maths की, and I had a bunch of stuff laid on my table. मेरे bed पे मेरे कपड़े पड़े हुए थे दो तीन, and almost immediately I picked up my phone with my laptop and a journal diary, and I laid down on the bed, pretending. And to be honest, I kind of knew, pretending to brainstorm, pretending to be thinking for a YouTube video, which I did. Okay, which I did for the first 10 minutes. मैंने actually में notes वाला app खोला अपने phone पे. I was checking which video should I record today. Okay, so this is a topic that I want to try some videos on. This is a topic that I want to try some videos on. ये थोड़ा figure out करा. फिर because my room is suggesting me to do so, I changed a few settings on my phone that allowed me to access Google. And then I opened up Google, opened up Instagram, opened up YouTube, random scrolling, random browsing, zombie, I went on fully zombie mode. And it's now 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I did that till like 12 o'clock. I did that for like a straight 1.5, or maybe even 2 hours. And that's when something clicked in me. I just felt so sluggish. I felt almost as if I had just been sitting there and sweating. I had just been sitting there and just fixed to the bed, just sticked to the bed. It was extremely a very sluggish, a very zombie-ish, goblin kind of a feeling. And that's what I want you to understand. That's what I want you to learn from this takeaway from this video, which is to please don't make your room suggest you negative things, negative habits, negative thoughts. If your room is going to look like that of a goblin, then you will be a goblin. It's just as simple as that. If your room looks that like that of a zombie, then you will be a zombie because you spend 50% of the day in your room. And you know what I did when I once I realized what I had been doing? I got up, I took another shower, my second shower of the day, even though I have already bathed, I had already bathed, but I took a second shower of the day and I cleaned my room. And now I'm sitting here and I'm recording videos and I'm actually doing some real genuine work. I was supposed to do so much of stuff today, but I just spent 2 hours on random brainless browsing. And that is the problem. You know, almost imagine when you look at your room, almost imagine if your room was a person, who would it be? अगर आपका रूम आपका कमरा एक इंसान होता, what would be their personality, what would be their career, who would they be? If I had to do that for myself 3 hours ago, my room looked like, because overall, even though yeah, there was some stuff on the table and some stuff on my bed, even then my room is still pretty much clean. You know, the wall, they have a lot of uh, posters on it. I have a lot of things written on the paper and sticked it to the wall. I have a habit tracker there, I have a painting there, I have this whole shelf of books here. So you know, it's very clean otherwise, and that's why it just looked like a failure student's room. If my room was a human being, it would be a failed student. It would be a student who had big aspirations, but he failed. I could see all these, you know, quotes on the wall. Here's one: meditate back to your work. Here's one: what if? Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. I have all of that written on my wall, and then when I look at my table, it's a mess. It looked like if my room would have a human being soul, if it would be a human being, it would be a failure student. इस स्टूडेंट को बहुत बहुत मन था IIM क्रैक करने का, कैट के पेपर्स क्रैक करने का, whatever it is, but he couldn't. And now I want you to look around you, look at your room. And I genuinely want you to do this. If your room was a person, who would it be? Just think for a second, think. And it's okay if your answer is he would be a druggist, because a lot of people have rooms like that, you know, अजीब सा पेंट हुआ हुआ है वॉल पे, चलो still that's okay, you know, you don't really have very much a lot of control over it, but you have random stuff on the bed, random stuff on the table. Of course, if your room was a human being, it would be a druggist, it would be a person who is in the jail for some crime he committed. You know, there's like random stuff thrown on the floor. There's one shoe here and the other pair of shoes is there, and you know everything is a mess. Just look at around yourself. और सच में एक बारी genuinely be completely honest to yourself. If your room was a person, who would it be? And if the answer is someone negative, you know, a druggist, a prisoner, if the answer is anything negative, then just do one thing. Just do as I say. Please, for God's sake, clean your room. This is the only action step that I have for you in this video. Clean your room. Have enough amount of discipline and self-respect to just get up without even having any thoughts in your brain. Just like come turn your brain off, get up, clean your room. Don't play any music, don't do any of that bullshit. Just get up and clean your room. So that at least if your room was a human being, it would be a positive, a like-minded individual. It would not be a druggist, it would not be something that you would assert as a negative person, a negative human being, a wasted human being. I want you to seriously do this. Just clean your room for once. Look around yourself and clean your room. Just clean your room. You would see yourself, because you know naturally we spend a lot of time in our room. If our room is clean and you know it looks like a room of a productive person, if your room likes if your room looks like, wait, this is a very nice thought that I have. अगर आपका कमरा उस इंसान की तरह लग रहा है, if it would be a human being, it would be that human being that you yourself want to be. then what better thing that you could have about your room? मान लो आपको डॉक्टर बनना है एंड योर रूम लुक्स लाइक, अगर ये एक इंसान होता, ये एक बहुत सक्सेसफुल डॉक्टर होता, you have like posters on your wall of some autopsies, and there's a diagram over this wall, and you have a diagram of the eye, diagram of this, diagram of that. Then you have a bunch of books laid out, specifically about your syllabus. It's about medicines, it's about surgeries, it's about vaccines, and there's a lot of stuff. There's a random stethoscope kept on your shelf. There are a lot of books about medicines, a lot of books about health and well-being. And so, if your room was a human being, it would be a successful doctor. And who do you want to be? A successful doctor. That's like the best combination that you could have for yourself, for your room. If your room is the would be the kind of person who you want to be, if it was a person in the first place, then that's the best case scenario. Right now, look around you. If your room is not that kind of a thing, not that kind of a environment, that if it would be a human being, it would be the kind of human being that you want to be, then just please clean your room. Maybe decorate it with the stuff that you are very very what would I say, determined about. If it's fitness, then put up a habit tracker in your room. Maybe put up a poster of Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know. Just make your room aligned to your personality, and not just your current personality, but the kind of personality that you would want to have when you become the person that you want to be. I hope that makes sense, because that does make sense to me. And now, since I have this insight right now, I'm just going to be very honest with you. Even right now, as I'm recording the video, my table is still a bit messy. I have random pages on the table, they're random scripts, and I have my phone here, I have my water bottle there, I have my whole journal diary opened up here. It's still a bit messy, but that's mainly because of the reason that I'm recording this video, even though. But since I've just gotten this insight as I'm talking to you, that your room should look like the person who you would want to be if it was a person in the first place, I'm 100% gonna clean this as soon as I get done with this video. And I want you to do the same thing. Just look around yourself and clean your room. Clean your room, please. If it's not aligned with your goals, if it's not aligned with the personality that you would want to have once you become the person that you want to be, please clean your room, because it's the environment that you live in for half of your life. Okay, maybe that's a bit exaggerated. I don't know the exact stats. You can look that up for yourself. But I don't think we need any stats here, to be honest. What is a stat going to do to you when you know the answer that yes, of course, you're still going to spend a majority of your life sitting in the room? Why don't you just clean the damn room for once? Clean the damn environment that you're going to spend a majority of your life in. Consider me your angry mummy, आपकी बहुत गुस्सैल मम्मा on a Sunday morning. बेटा अपना कमरा साफ कर लो. I'll see you in the next one. I hope this video helped you. Indulge in the YouTube metrics so that it helps me and my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye. Jai Shri Krishna.